podcast brought to you by Keeps.
Do you guys
Keep your fucking hairline.
You guys think the characteristics of your feet say anything about your personality?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what would you interpret from your from someone else's feet? What do you see in these toes?
Well, they're pretty wide. They're pretty meaty.
You think so?
Like you said earlier, they're pretty articulate.
I got
Because
articulate
we talk about
toes.
each other's feet a lot. We talk about this.
Yeah, this is a thing
why do you
about me.
keep bringing this up, Anthony?
This was somebody else brought this up. It wasn't me. I assure you that.
I think I remember this differently. I feel like if you have pretty well kept feet, I think that says a lot about you. But mostly for like,
I gotta clip my toenails. I'll admit.
Alex hides his foot. He puts it up on the table to show us all. And when I start talking about hygiene, he's like, "All right,
Hey, my toes are clean. I took a shower yesterday, or the day before, but I washed my feet.
I think everyone should." That's something I think a lot of people overlook when you're showering.
Very easy. Dude, it's so easy to get like fucking some gunk and fungus in between your toes.
Gunkus.
Fungus.
No, seriously, you'll have like some fucking fungus growing there. That's why we have athlete's foot, because these sweaty ass motherfuckers don't know how to clean between their goddamn toes.
Dude, I hated high school because of like how unhygienic all the boys were.
It's ridiculous, dude.
Dude, the
like,
locker room smelled like fucking balls.
When we
like
would
straight crotch.
Yeah, I know.
Nonstop.
to be fair though, who really wants to have a fucking 10-minute shower in like some lukewarm, open, wide ass shit? I would 100% rather just spray fucking Axe.
I got
all over my goddamn
No,
body.
listen, it's awful, but it works when you're in middle school because like everyone smells like shit just naturally.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know about you guys, but like I would literally use my gym shirt as a towel to wipe
That
sweat
is
up.
disgusting.
And then I
get
wouldn't
you.
wash that shirt. I would just leave it in my locker and wear it the next fucking
Dude.
All right,
day.
hold up. That is where we differ, my friend.
You should compost that shit. You'll grow
Yeah.
like mushrooms.
It's gone, dude. It's decimated now.
I got lucky in my puberty phases because I barely sweat. I barely sweat now. So like even when I was a
Sounds like
teenager,
condition.
no, I mean it's not like unnaturally non-sweaty. Like I do
Unnaturally
sweat,
dry.
but I'm not like just sweating from being in like an overly hot room or like doing some physical activity. I have to be like really working and then I'll start sweating.
Have you ever wondered if you're cold-blooded?
What is he, a fucking vampire?
Now I'm wondering
No,
about
a
it.
reptile. I'm just making sure.
I'm a lizard person. You found me out.
Well,
Thank you for coming out.
Anyways, so like getting out of the locker rooms and everything, I didn't want to shower in school because of how quickly they push you through all the classes and everything.
dude, you have like less than 10 minutes to get your shit
Yeah, I know.
together. Hold on. First and foremost,
Dry.
to get dry in like 2 minutes and then
Yeah.
put on clothes. Fuck you.
Imagine sitting in your English class after your physical
Sopping
education.
wet.
Yeah, you're just wet as fuck, half clean because you only had like a 7-minute shower.
dude,
You're like
and the
writing an essay, and as you write it, it's just smearing black all across the paper.
like your hair is not gonna get wet. Imagine in winter. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
okay, yeah, go the fuck out. Hey, you have PE inside. You shower. Your hair's frigid, and it's just like fucking.
You have a last period PE class, so you leave
We-
in the middle of winter.
In I think it was 9th grade, I had me and my friend had PE at 2nd period, which is like
dude.
8 or 7:45
that
in the
sounds like a
morning.
nap at 5th period.
Yeah.
Dude, and then I had English class right after, and I was just sitting there like,
Yeah. Dude, PE is like so dumb because you'll have like a whole unit on like yoga and it'll be chill as fuck. And then when the fucking seasons change, they're going to do like an outdoor touch football.
Yeah,
but
real
the kids
baseball.
Don't touch. The kids don't touch.
no, they don't touch.
They'll tackle the fuck out of you.
You'll have people
fun.
trying to actually play the game for what it is.
Yeah.
And then you'll have
They're
dudes.
tryhards. They're gym class tryhards.
Did you guys ever actually play football in like elementary or whatever? Because my school never had football. We just had kickball. There was some shit about, oh, the kids can't tackle each other. Too many kids got hurt. Well, to be fair, with the history of my school and what we did, I don't question it. But yeah, I never played football.
We played football, but I don't think it was PE sanctioned. That was like
yeah.
that was some backyard recess shit.
Okay, yeah,
underground type shit. shit that you don't talk about during lunchtime type shit. You know?
Were you in a fucking secret football club?
Secret
the
football club.
fight club.
Yeah. Ronnie broke his wrist. It was scary.
I broke Ronnie's wrist.
It was scary. We mostly just played kickball in elementary school. We played a lot of very weird games.
Monkey Island.
Dude.
Monkey Island was part of it. There was towards the
Monkey
end.
Island?
You want to explain it?
Monkey Island is where you have a bunch of motherfucking hula hoops on the ground. And the monkeys must run between each island, running away from sharks.
The natural predator of monkeys.
Well, there were points kept amongst the sharks.
It was competitive for them. For the monkeys, it was about survival.
Status survive.
Our game was Foursquare.
Foursquare was also good.
Shit.
I got my ass handed to me in Foursquare.
You would get your ass handed to you.
I never took the time to understand the rules.
Super bronze, iron, dude.
Ball in square.
I didn't know how to play kickball, dude.
It's in the name, man.
We towards the end of my elementary school career, we had 2 gym teachers. One was like very adamant on like personal health. I don't know if it was just because we had 2 gym teachers and they just had very different styles of teaching, or it was perpetrated by like the school trying to be both fun and more physically fit. Because the one teacher was very focused on like yoga and like doing cardio, like some light exercises. And the other teacher was like, let's fucking play kickball. Let's play this new game I thought of at lunchtime.
Follow-up question. Was it a male and a female gym teacher? Yeah.
If we have the same ones.
No, I don't know. I just, it's
interesting. Sexist right now?
No, I'm trying to identify the sexism within the education system in the first place.
So then which one went to which category for you?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
You have an opinion.
Oh, did you not have the teachers? There's a similar setup.
A couple, like I'm thinking more in high school, in which case we had the same gym teachers.
Who did the yoga? The woman teacher or the man teacher?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of my gym teacher, and they fit within
That's what we're asking.
They fit within the stereotype. They fit within the stereotype.
Well, so what is the stereotype?
Women stretch.
Yeah, you're curving around being sexist.
I will be fine in the eyes of Twitter.
It's such mild sexism too. Like women do yoga. Like, yeah, it's like
more people should do yoga. That's like saying women are cleaner. It's like because dudes don't fucking wash their ass. It's like a positive stereotype. Granted, no one should be stereotyping in general, but like,
yeah.
You know, everyone's human. We all apply stereotypes to everyone, whether we think about it or not.
Dude, there was that Jordan Peterson clip that's been going around Twitter. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I watched some of it.
He was talking about how like non-binary people or non-conforming people, he doesn't know you guys are simultaneously hitting and giving me a squint.
Because it's just like,
Yeah, like what's he going to say?
No, let's take a pause. This one's a thinker. Okay.
He was talking about how he doesn't know how to interact with gender non-conforming people because he doesn't have any stereotype to base it off of. So it's like,
just say hello.
Yeah, that's like the most simple answer. It's like, just treat them like a fucking human.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I don't know which way to either give you misogyny or sexism.
Because
you have to direct them at someone. You know?
Because there might be some subtle ways that you treat men and women differently, you know what I mean? But like there is just like a base level of like certain politeness that you should just show to like strangers or like people that you see on the fucking elevator or coworkers or whatever, where you just like acknowledge who they are and you're like, okay. Like it doesn't have to be anything more than just like, you know, you say hi in the fucking elevator and then you walk away.
You're looking like way too deep into it if you have to start thinking about it.
Exactly. Because if you have like these like, oh, she's a woman, that means I must touch her back when I walk past her and all this other creepy, rapey shit. You know what I mean? Like people who do that are insane.
Yeah.
And cringe as fuck.
What kind of subtleties did you mean when you mentioned it?
Like when you're like, it's also, what's it called? Like for an example, if I were to be talking or arguing with someone, maybe, and this is definitely like some level of sexism, but it's like I might be a little bit more gentler with like a woman when I'm arguing versus like a man, where I would probably be a little bit more assertive or something like that.
Is that something that you feel like you should not do, or are you okay?
No,
with doing that?
like I don't know how much of a difference it would produce in the real world. It's probably better to like not do that, but then like, because you kind of like, it changes the way that you engage with people. So it's probably not good, but I'm just saying that like some people might have those hangups or whatever, which I think is, whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, with something like that, I don't think it's like anything like blatant sexism or whatever, but I think I don't know. I think it's just like an innate mindset that a lot of people are born with to treat women a little bit more kindly or more gently.
It's a little bit more insidious. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean insidious?
Like it's like an undercurrent that isn't really like you don't explicitly do it, but it's like just so like built into you that it's like, it's like into your mind already. You're trained to do it for some reason.
Yeah. I feel like it takes a lot of effort on like someone's own behalf to like know themselves enough to like build a unifying line of how you can treat others.
That's why I try to keep it pretty universal. Yeah. Like the things that I sanction women for, like prohibit doing for women, like I would fight a guy, but thinking about it, it's like
physical altercations.
There's like an anomaly in like the equality movements where people are like, oh, well, I can hit a girl if you guys want equality. And it's like, that's not what we should gain from that. We should gain the opposite, where like no one should be like physically fighting each other. That's like what we want to strive for.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to fight anyone, but I will fight anyone.
I mean, if I'm getting beaten up, like I'm going to fight whoever's fighting me back. But like,
if I can't,
I don't know. It's like a fantasy to be able to.
I just want to, personally, okay, it is a fantasy. I desperately wish to get into a fight, but I want to go into like a boxing match or something.
I'm talking about specifically with women. Like guys like the idea of like getting into a physical altercation with a woman.
It'd be interesting one time in my life.
But it has to be like an MMA fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I want to fight the best of the best.
Like top MMA fighter.
What's that girl's name? Ronda Rousey. You'd fight Ronda Rousey.
Yes, I would love to.
I'd kick your ass.
Oh, probably.
Probably.
What do you mean probably?
Yeah,
definitely.
I will not give up.
You've got endurance.
What were we talking
about? Pull it back from the clutches. We were talking about treating women differently versus like, treating men differently.
Yeah, like I think like a lot of that shit, it really is just a fantasy. Like they're like on Twitter and they're like, bro,
if I was in that situation,
if that girl treated me like this, I would have done that. And they're just like writing their fucking fan fiction on Twitter and however many characters, and they're just like jerking themselves thinking of it.
When I say fantasy, I don't think it's necessarily like a sexual one. It's more so just like
think that.
I'm just clarifying for everybody like listening.
Yeah, okay. Because I think it is just like some weird like
it's just like a power
exactly
thing. I don't know.
They're like, oh, you want to be treated like a dude? Well, dudes get fucked up. We fuck dudes up.
I fuck dudes.
I fuck dudes.
Yeah, it's just like that comes innately with misogyny, but like everybody in general has those little quirks where they treat people differently.
Yeah. And it's just it's based on a lot of things,
Jordan Peterson is going a step to the extreme to be like, I just openly misogynistic. He's like, I treat all women way differently than I treat guys. Why? What do you mean by that?
I don't know if I don't even know if he built on that. It was like specific about like the differences and how he treats people.
Because it's innate. It's like, it's an understanding of the people watching this. They're like, oh yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always super curious as to these like solitary like extremists, like or like where someone who is just taking an idea to the extreme. Where like Jordan Peterson, are those? Do they just say whack shit so that way people take what they say in moderation in the first place?
I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
So that way, like the idea that the vocal minority are oftentimes the extremists of the ideology. For example, Jordan Peterson for like maybe incels or, people have been blackpilled. It's like he is speaking to just the faction of the world, right? He is the extreme of cope. But like the idea is that the average person will listen to him and think this is ridiculous. But to take what he says in moderation is to take the proper values from it.
Yeah, if you were to, there's probably I think there probably is a way where you could be charitable to Jordan Peterson and like try to understand his point of view that is like a little bit more palatable. But it's just the way that he presents it. It's so dog shit, and it's kind of on him.
You should take away.
It's kind of on him to present it in a better.
I mean, the way that everyone should interact with these talking heads is basically don't take what they say as truth, but take away from whatever they're trying to say, whether or not you disagree with it or agree with it.
Yeah, because the thing is, if Jordan Peterson, oh sorry,
no, you're good.
But if Jordan Peterson wasn't like borderline crazy and like schizophrenic, like would he have any attention, like at all?
I think a lot of his takes are pretty mild. It's just like the thing with Jordan Peterson in particular is like, he has like this doctor status. He has like this authority in a lot of people's minds because he's like a psychologist. So they're like, if anyone understands how humans interact and how social behaviors are, it would be Jordan Peterson. But that's not the case because every scientist is also just a dude. Yeah, and like, granted, you can have a particular advancement in knowledge in a particular area. But with Jordan Peterson, it's like, I don't think gender studies or like social behaviors is really his niche. Yeah.
Cause like the thing is I think Jordan Peterson has like two different like parts of him. He has a psychology that he talks about where he's very informed and he'll talk about like the different, like Jungian psychology, and he'll talk about Freud, and he'll talk about all this other shit.
It's very textbook, but he is very knowledgeable.
And he also has like, I think, some good tips as well for like self-help, because obviously it struck a chord with a number of people, you know what I mean? Like the whole 12 rules for life, where it is very basic. What's it called? Like on its face, it is very basic, like tips and tricks or whatever, but it is pretty profound. Like having someone just spell it out to you word for word, like make your bed, clean your room, do all this shit. So then,
yam break.
He's got to get his fucking yams.
It's yam break time.
Okay. Finish your thought, Anthony. You lost it. But I'm gonna go check on the yams.
Basically, I'll keep going. You go. Leave. God, these fucking losers. These fucking yam obsessed assholes. Don't even want to listen to what the fuck I have to say.
Yam check. You want some yams? Baby Japanese yams that have been boiled for far too long.
Overdone yams.
Soft yams.
Anyway, basically, Jordan Peterson is a good psychology guy. He spreads good psychology awareness stuff and self-help, but all of his political shit and social commentary and everything is all dog shit. It's all pointless, silly, and it's always him just asking questions. And
I disagree.
And him just leading up to, he says, he builds this narrative and he leads you to this conclusion, but he never states that conclusion.
You're literally building that very same narrative. You have zero conclusion. I have no idea what you've been saying for like the past...
Because you haven't been here.
What?
You've been stirring yams.
That's stupid.
Who would stir yams? No, I agree, though. I think that he's just not a very good political guy. I think that a lot of the stuff that he talks about, he doesn't really fully understand. And people revere that coming out of his mouth because he's like a doctor. Or
it's because he already built up his cred with the self-help stuff.
He has credit, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like Neil deGrasse Tyson in a way, where it's like he's a very respected like scientist, or I guess spokesperson in the realm of science, but like he's just like not funny at all. The cred does not translate.
So are you saying that Neil deGrasse Tyson is like as a human being on the decline?
No, he's saying how Jordan Peterson is good with psychology but bad with politics. Neil deGrasse Tyson is good at science but bad at funny.
Okay, give me a credibility timeline for these two people.
It's not about a timeline. It's about like just the status of having this credibility and not being able to translate it.
Are you saying that they...
Not everyone could be a jack of all trades. Is what I'm saying.
I kind of the social idea of credibility is kind of like a trend line, right? Because you're building up a certain amount of credit within a field. Your credibility, like your honor and credibility on being factual about what you said beforehand, should translate to another field, or at least that's a public perception of it.
Yeah,
but early, that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Not that
I don't view it in like the 4D. I don't use time as a metric. It's mostly just like level.
I think it's okay to look at like time, but like when you think about like credibility, that's also kind of subjective in a lot of ways. Like when you're talking about general social discourse and like who is accepting what messages and taking what as fact, you know what I mean? There's like Jordan Peterson first got his like popularity and built some credibility with like right-wing audiences when he there was like that argument where he was outside of his lecture hall and he was arguing with like trans people because they were interrupting his thing because he made some statement or something like that. That was like his initial. Oh yeah, he made a statement about Bill C-16. He said that Bill C-16 was like silencing free speech because it made people like say their like call people by their preferred pronouns, but the bill only referred to landlords, employers, and things of that nature, not the general public.
Yeah, things so he kind of apply to discrimination.
So like, it's for a lot of left-leaning people who like saw that and like paid attention to that, he lost credibility and didn't have much credibility. But to right-wing audiences, because he was being a bulwark against like trans ideology, quote unquote, he built up that credibility with them.
Oh, so he's trying
to woke moralists.
And then as time went on, he wrote his book, The 12 Rules for Life, and he built even more credibility with like the self-help stuff. And that was like popular, not only with incels, but also with just general, like just a lot of people who, are like into that self-help thing. You know, he's talked a lot about like having individuals come up to him and talk about repaired relationships and, bettered lives and things like that, which is good. And it's positive. And it definitely adds credibility towards his self-help, which I would think, or at least I see credibility in him with the self-help stuff, but it's just a lot of his political social stuff is silly.
I see like mild credibility in his psychology. I think that it's not like any groundbreaking.
Well, no, it's not groundbreaking, but it's also, what has he said that's
I think he knows what the problem is with a lot of people, like mentally. I think he's understood a lot of like what which I'm kind of surprised at. I think he understands what bogs a lot of people down mentally. But otherwise, like, I think it's so strange too, because I feel like, which is probably what makes a lot of people think that he has a lot of credibility. It doesn't make sense for someone who's like, who would be great at psychology, and then it does not translate at all to politics, because I feel like there's a lot of overlap that happens with understanding how people work and understanding how people work in a society.
Yeah, but maybe he just doesn't have the background in knowing how he can influence politics.
Yeah, because
he's definitely influencing.
There's like, there's like people have different reasons for having like whatever ideology they have. Like, I'm pretty sure, to be honest, other than like trans rights stuff, Jordan Peterson is like pretty liberal, like in a lot of his like policy prescriptions.
I know he has a weird,
because he's Canadian. Like, it's
because he's fucking Canadian.
You're like fucking born liberal there, pretty much. Unless you're like Steven Crowder, because you moved to fucking Michigan.
Steven Crowder Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm pretty sure he was born in Quebec.
Bro.
Hot yam.
I don't want to.
This is a steamy yam.
No butter, no cinnamon.
It doesn't need. It's a Japanese
really good.
yam.
They're really good.
I'll take a bite.
It might be a bit hot. Take care.
Oh. Drip report.
Bus report.
Dry. Doesn't really taste like much.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, but a little bit of butter.
That's what I'm. That's what I said.
Maybe some cinnamon.
Cinnamon, sugar, butter.
What did you just break?
Compound sweet butter.
Punched my phone and then it fucking flew onto the ground.
And it shattered. Do you guys know who Rick Rubin is?
No, I do not.
He's a producer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a lot of pretty prolific credits, talking about credibility. Speaking of credibility,
Rick Rubin knows a lot about psychology.
He had an interview recently. I guess this is kind of old news, but it's still just something incredible to talk about because it leads so much into the general world of art and art expression and understanding it. But Rick Rubin had an interview recently. I forget who with, but they were basically talking about how he doesn't actually do anything when he produces. He does very little.
I saw that.
He's basically just like somebody who knows what sounds good.
Yeah.
And he's basically just like an ear that they put in the studio. And people have made comments about that in the past, like kind of angry with him, but like he doesn't actually do anything. The worst
type of person to produce with.
And I think that you can totally tell that just by looking at him. He literally just never wears shoes. He has this long ass beard.
So you're telling me that is Rick Rubin? He's featured as a producer.
Yeah, because he's technically producing. They put him on the producer. Like people want to get Rick Rubin because he does have enough credibility to be like a named producer.
But people just bring tracks to Rick Rubin. He's like, yeah, this is good.
He will be in the studio with them.
Mix on that.
Yeah, he'll be like, you probably want to change like the timbre of the guitar here, or like you probably want to add some trumpets or some shit like that.
He just gives advice.
Basically,
like a consultant. Yeah, like a music consultant.
I'm pretty sure he would like actually do some stuff, but like very little in terms of what an actual producer does. Because what an actual producer does is they're making the song.
Yeah,
like
they can usually play instruments, or they're using like a DAW or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, they'll be doing something actively with the artist. But like Rick Rubin would sit in the studio and just be like, yeah, that sounds good. Or like, no, change that.
Wow.
And I think that, like, I'm honestly not mad at him for that. Like, I think that is definitely something. It's
valuable.
I don't think he should be called a producer. I think he should
agree.
I think he should be called a music consultant.
He's an overseer.
Yeah.
Is that A&R? What is A&R?
You're asking the wrong person.
I thought you would know, man.
Just because I have a 9-to-5 doesn't mean I know business acronyms.
No, A&R is like music thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Hang on.
Audio representative.
Audio representative.
Oh, A&R division of a record label is responsible for finding new recording artists and bringing those artists.
They're the talent
That's
people.
Different.
Yeah.
They're like listening to music and then bringing them onto the label.
That's cool though. That's a job I would want to have.
Yeah, that would be a cool job. You're just like looking for underground artists.
You're literally just getting paid to listen to music. Yeah. Like that would be fucking awesome.
But honestly, Rick Rubin would probably be a good A&R person because he could listen for what is hot. You know,
he
what's
probably
good.
moves up from A&R.
Maybe.
I don't know how much credibility I would actually give Rick Rubin because like he's produced some pretty shitty albums or like albums that, in my opinion, and this is all subjective, obviously, because we're talking about credibility, which we already established was subjective. And then we're in the world of art now, which is like everything goes out the window for objectivity.
We're just talking about shit now.
We're back, baby.
Welcome to Shitcast.
Welcome to the Null Thought Podcast.
Like halfway through. Yeah. Well, you kind of did an intro in the beginning.
Yeah, we already got.
I don't know if you recorded it though. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm Zane. Anyways.
And I'm Alex.
And Rick Rubin is a very established musical overseer is what we'll call him.
All right.
But like what I wanted to
title.
He has AirPods.
He walks in already listening to the song that you're producing. He's like, change all of it. Yeah. Iconically with no shoes.
Sounds like the producer from fucking. No, I was gonna say the Big Time Rush, but no, it's the opposite.
Who's Big Time Rush's producer?
Rick Rubin. Yeah. But like the idea of like this atmosphere around Rick Rubin now is just someone who comes in solely based off vibes. I think is honestly pretty interesting because there is some credibility to it. I think understanding or like gaining things from art requires like a specific mindset. And that's why I think there's so many people who like definitely understand art. And there's people who are like sternly opposed to it. They'll be like, this is stupid. It's not like a pretty image.
It sounds like he has a very instinctual understanding of art, but
Probably has a
nothing
very-
else.
Yeah.
Well, he probably has a lot of because
Does he know how to play any instruments?
I don't know, but he definitely knows how to produce generally. Like
Okay.
he's at
He's
least a
able to.
good because he started producing when he was in college, and he's like
Oh, okay.
older now, probably like mid 40s.
Does he have like formal education in music?
I don't know. He was in college for something. I don't know if it was for
Jamie,
electronic music production.
Jamie, get out of your cage and look it up.
If I had to guess, he definitely has like a pretty good skill in like actual producing or mixing and mastering, but like he's just produced and mixed so much music that he's sitting on this throne of just vibes. I think that's what he's gotten to.
Because like imagine there's some scientists out there too who are like, or professors at colleges who are just like, I'm on tenureship, I don't give a fuck.
That's him now. He's just getting paid to listen to music and be like, it's bad. He's Anthony, you were right all along. He's just advanced A&R. We got to consult Rick Rubin, the music god.
Apparently he went to New York University, but I don't know like
Did
what he majored in or anything.
Did he produce the soundtrack to The Last of Us?
Let's see. Why would he do that? I don't know how to distinct it without like discrediting video game music. I was about to be like, he makes actual music, but that's like
Yeah, I have no idea what he's made.
regular music, I should say, but that's still pretty.
The people's music. That's what he makes.
What Rick Rubin has.
What genre does he produce for mainly?
He goes
He's
all
done
over
it
the
all.
place. Yeah.
Like on his
Really?
Wikipedia, it showed like metal, rap.
He
Fucking,
produced a System of a Down's Toxicity, which I found to be a really
Here.
crazy fact.
He has also produced, or here, I'll read it from the beginning. Rubin helped popularize hip hop by producing records for acts such as the Beastie Boys, Ghetto Boys, Run DMC,
Ghetto
Public
Boys?
Enemy, and LL Cool J. He also
Damn.
produced hit records for acts from a variety of other genres, System of a Down, Metallica, Slayer, Red Hot Chili Peppers, The Strokes, Weezer, Aerosmith, Linkin Park, Rage Against the Machine, Johnny Cash. He's
What?
worked with a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And all these people hate him? That's
I
crazy.
don't know. He doesn't have like a, but that's what I think that goes back into what I was originally going to talk about, because like his status as this music guru is like pretty established. Like people
That's-
aren't mad at him for it. They're just, they just
'Cause he
all
ha-
have the same stories that he doesn't actually do anything physically.
I
He
think-
just has a really good ear.
I think I get it because he just made them improve on their own. So it's like,
Yeah.
how can you really be mad at that? But
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
mean, he's
you're a
definitely-
producer, man.
He's not useless. He's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I guess his methods are just very abstract. I
They're-
guess that's like
they're
the most positive.
unconventional.
Yeah. It's the most positive way to put it.
Yeah.
His production is through chakra.
I'll be
He's
your
the-
teacher.
He's the
Yeah.
certified vibe checker.
He comes in with no shoes on, dude. Tell me he isn't like a guru at this
He like
point.
longboarded like 30 miles to the studio.
And he's like how old is he?
Matcha
Like,
latte in his hand.
no, he would be kombucha.
True, actually true.
That's how he lives forever.
He
Totally
reminds
there.
me of like those people from the 70s, like all the
All of them?
psychonauts. All of the people from the 70s. He reminds me of those psychonauts in like the first wave of LSD
Oh, yeah.
usage and psychedelics.
Like
He
all
reminds-
the fucking Woodstock people.
Like
Oh,
beyond Woodstock,
Oh.
but like the people who are actively making the chemicals, or like the scientists
He would not be making
self-exploring
the
it.
chemicals. He didn't even make the music.
I'm simply creating enough
Yeah.
vibes to get high.
Yeah, this is good LSD.
He would just materialize the LSD somehow.
You're watching a TV show with Rick Rubin on the couch, and he's like,
He's
"Yo, this
performing-
LSD's crazy," and you're like, "You're high? You took a tab?" And he's like, "Nah, I just willed it."
He's meditating himself into a fucking LSD peak.
I
Just
imagine
starts
he would
moaning.
know card tricks where you can like pull out paper from behind your ear.
But like, he doesn't know magic. He just
No,
started
he just
doing.
does. He has no clue.
Like, watch this. You guys are in a different dimension.
How did you do that? I have no idea.
Vibes, bro. Been doing this forever.
Take your shoes off, man. Then you'll feel the wave.
Whoa, dude, you're right.
The dogs direct me.
You invite him over for dinner and he walks into your room and he's like, the feng shui is way off right now.
He starts immediately reorganizing everything.
He improves everywhere he goes.
I'm going to bad trip if you keep me in this room any longer the way it is.
He's in a non-stop perpetual trip.
That's why when he walks into the stew, he's fucking like pantsless, shoeless. And they're like, what are you thinking, Rubin? He's like, scrap it. It's giving me bad vibes. I'm seeing shadow people.
We need a new studio.
Rick, can you quantize these beats over here, bro? My hands are melting.
Quantizing a beat, first of all, is fucking so easy to do.
It's just right click.
It's literally the hotkey in FL Studio is Alt Q, and it brings up a sub menu where it automatically does it.
You can't even do that.
When he was going to school in NYU, like when he first started, it was all mechanical. So like there was no way to Alt Q on that.
Yeah, he's using switchboards.
That's why he invented Alt Q. He was like, these beats need to be quantized easier.
He would make some fucking shit called Fruity Loops.
Then he sells it to fucking the Belgian company or the.
It's Belgian?
They're European. I know that.
Gross. Just kidding,
Jamie?
all of our European viewers. You guys are fine.
We actually do
though.
have a few viewers
Yeah,
from
those
Belgium.
guys are fine. But the rest,
Shout out Belgium.
watch out when you go outside. Just stay safe, you know?
Why do we have against
care.
Belgium? Every country that we mentioned.
We're so pro-Belgium.
We're pro-Belgium.
Only our viewers from Belgium. We support them.
What? No, all of Belgium. They're LF.
I don't know. I don't know the rest of Belgium.
They're good enough.
Are they? I don't know.
For me.
We don't know them.
have you
They're
been to
probably
Belgium?
cool. We can give them the benefit of the doubt that they're
US
cool.
allies.
I'm what?
They're part of the
US
EU.
allies.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And NATO. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
I guess those guys are all right.
They're all right.
We did the same thing with Romania. Another European country down the drain.
They're
Actually,
all right too.
we've already like trashed and burned the bridge that we have with Britain.
Oh yeah, but you know
We don't
what?
even need
Ancient
that
beef.
bridge.
So that's fine.
Ancient beef.
We're
Yeah,
letting
that's
that
like
one age.
Old
That-
bridge.
that's a tribal feud that we have. They understand
That's a
though.
blood feud.
I feel like I don't see any British people making fun of Americans as much as I see Americans making fun of British
Because
people.
we're in America, we censor
yeah,
them.
maybe.
We censor
them. Do not mention the word crap. It will get censored. I'm going to bleep that out, actually.
Arse is also it's
Whoa!
shadow banned on Twitter.
Oh.
So have you guys seen The Last of Us?
I've not seen the show, but I played the game, but I know it would work as a show.
I have not played the game or watched the show.
You've watched the first 2 episodes of
That's
the show.
more than both of you.
Yeah, okay. You have...
Because I also saw a playthrough.
I saw a playthrough. I have the cutscene knowledge, but you have 2 extra episodes on me. But yeah, I 100% see how it works as a show. Do you think it works better as a show versus a game? Because I've honestly, that's the idea that I've had the entire time. I'm just waiting for it all to come out so I can binge it.
Yeah, probably because I think like a lot of video games kind of lose the plot sometimes when like you're just given like a big open space and there's like 20 dudes you've got to kill. And I don't know how much that happens in The Last of Us. I don't remember the game that much, to be fair, but I feel like, you know, with what's it called? When you could do storytelling like with a movie or a show, you're able to make like individual combat and like individual scenarios or encounters a little bit more drawn out and like more difficult for the characters as well to overcome, which I think is like more entertaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like when you're in a video game, sometimes there's exploits that can make it goofy, pull out like the suspension of disbelief or whatever, or it's just like enemy after enemy after enemy after enemy. It's like, what is this game? You know what I mean? Like I thought this was all different, but yeah, to be fair, there's like a lot of, I'm pretty sure in The Last of Us, there's like a lot of stealthing and like moving around the zombies as opposed to like fully attacking them head on or something. So
I think The Last of Us had a pretty realistic
unique
experience.
approach,
Yeah. It was
felt-
more face on.
I felt like...
stealth.
oh, sorry.
No, you're okay. I kept cutting you off.
But with the game, it's easier to feel like the world is more empty versus a show where that like each scene can be filled up with some excess amount of miscellaneous shit. So it's like
true.
You're not traveling between empty spaces. You're traveling like in the
you're
show.
In
it's
the
like
empty space. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
They're showing the things that aren't necessarily explained in game, or like you kind of just have to assume.
Yeah.
Because like when there is downtime, they could fill that space in with like more plot.
Yeah,
or
cut the scene.
Yeah,
because
it's a Joel Ellie cutscene.
You can build like the suspense or like the understanding of like desolation, you know what I mean, by using like B-roll shots, you know, where you cut like to different shots of buildings and shit. And they've done that in the show, and it looks really cool. Like the way that they present the city or whatever, like you could see like massive buildings falling over, like tilted onto one another. It's cool. But I've only seen 2 episodes. So
I will have to say though, it seems like the game does do a good job of giving that kind of movie like experience. Like when you're traveling to a new place, like Ellie and Joel will have a conversation with each other about just some random shit or something plot related maybe.
I've always wanted to build a parallel between The Last of Us and Metal Gear Solid 4, and it's that The Last of Us is kind of like the evolution of what Metal Gear Solid 4 was kind of trying to do in turning the entire game into a movie, where in Metal Gear Solid 4, it's just like it's 60 gigabytes worth of cutscenes. But in The Last of Us, it's 60 gigabytes worth of in-game cutscenes.
Yeah.
And so it's
That's like... Another game that does that really well is... Jedi Fallen Order. It feels like a fucking movie when you play it, and it's like it's very seamless going from cutscene to gameplay, where it feels like but you're like playing through the cutscenes, and it's like, you know, you can control the character however you want or whatever, but it's like, you know, it makes you feel like part of the game, really, and it's like it's just a really cool experience.
That's something in the like the first 5 minutes of Hogwarts Legacy, a game that I bought. I'm planning on streaming sometime soon too. Shameless plug, of course. Got to get it out somewhere.
Where can the people find you?
At twitch.tv/dudeguy08. But yeah.
08.
But yeah. Fuck, what was I saying? But they have like really seamless transitions between the like the character like healing on all these tutorial things. Yeah. And they scrap it right out the fucking gate. Like as soon as you finish the tutorial, nothing I've seen has done the same thing.
For
but
The
also
Last of Us?
I'm talking about in Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, okay, I see. Like there aren't like detailed animations for things and stuff.
I mean, there is, but also I'm not very far into that game, so
okay.
I'll see how as it progresses. But the entire like flow of how they dealt with cutscenes just changes for like the generic Mass Effect like dialogue kind of in between two people.
But yeah, I think I definitely think it. I don't know if it works better as a TV series, but it works well. Like it definitely works well. I think the game's executed well too. So.
I think that's like one of the series. If you were to make it, if you were to make a video game a TV series, that's probably the best contender. Yeah, I think it could translate very easily, and it seems like it is and will.
I think Halo could have been a good show.
The 73-hour movie of Halo.
Not 70.
I think Call of Duty would be so cool.
Bro. No, unironically though, because there was I forget what the director's name was. There was a director that wrote a script for a Halo movie, and it was going to be like a really gritty, like almost zombie movie with the flood. And it was going to be like really like fucked up and gritty and dark and shit. And I think that would have been cool.
I would 100% look forward to any other Halo like universe media, because they had that whole animated series with like Halo Legends, and there was another continuation of that. Those like accumulation of like short films were fucking phenomenal. Just really good, and they're just in. Some of them aren't lore, but they're just like in fandom,
right? Short
animations by a bunch of different. They have the animation team who did I think it was either Dragon Ball Z or like some other fighting anime. But they had that the artist for that team, just the studio made a whole episode for that show. It's like, wow, fucking cool. You get to see Halo as an anime now.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know. Halo as an anime sounds weird, actually.
It would
Was he
be
speaking
much
Japanese?
more. No, it'd be much more consumable. Like, trust me when I say that. Halo.
Then like a live.
Hold on, what do I say like this?
a lot.
When you say
like a well
Halo-
like a well produced live action series.
I'm saying that a live action series for Halo would be horribly let down. I think it would be, unless you have,
Maybe.
it needs to be a movie with enough CGI budget to rival like fucking Superman.
Yeah, or Avatar.
Yeah.
I don't know about it. Doesn't need. It depends.
doesn't
on,
need Avatar,
It depends
but
on
definitely
what
Superman.
story in the Halo universe or whatever you want to tell. You know what I mean?
Very, very true.
Because some of that does require big budgets. You know, if you wanted to, recreate the fucking like Halo Overlook or whatever, which probably every movie would want to do.
If
you're
you
gonna be
want
in
to
that universe.
rekindle any fucking hope in Halo fans, you got to go big
That's true too.
with it, because you can't just release the Halo shit TV series and be like, oh, let's hype up our new movie. That's
Well, no,
gonna
it
be
doesn't
really
have to
good.
be shit, but if it was like unique and it was like that makes it interesting. Like
I need a good trailer.
Have you guys ever seen Peacemaker? Peacemaker is it's a DC show. Like it's in the DC universe.
Don't they have Terry Crews?
No. They have Idris Elba.
Do they have The Rock?
Yeah, they do have The Rock. He's Black Adam.
Oh my God.
Wait, hold. So Black Adam is in that show, but he also has
he's
his
not
own
in that
movie?
show. He's in the DC universe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like Peacekeeper, it's like if John Cena is the main character.
Okay.
No way.
John Cena is like the main character, and he's like this. His
Peacemaker?
his like lore is that he will kill anyone who gets in the way of peace at all costs, no matter who it is, whether it's women, children.
So
How do you do
he's
that?
a confused Punisher.
So he's like he is like a confused Punisher, but he has like soft cuddly moments and like funny like camaraderie moments, and like also
He's just
like,
your average dude.
No, like he does like act like your average dude. It's honestly a really good show. I really recommend it. Because it's like it takes like the superhero thing and kind of flips it on its head a little bit.
Okay.
And I think it's like, if you've seen The Boys, I don't know if you've seen any of that.
I've
we
seen,
watched the
like,
first episode.
season.
Well, I think The Boys is a really good show too, and it's kind of in a similar vein where it's like a gritty superhero thing. But I think it's really
Like
good.
Supernatural, but for men.
Like Twilight.
Twilight was really gritty.
Supernatural was also a good show and different.
Yeah, it was different.
This has been the Null
Null
Thought
Thought
Podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah, that's real cool.
I've been Zane.
I'm Alex. Shoes come equipped with feet. I think we've been done, Anthony. What? We're not?